So one of the things that's got me thinking is obviously the World Cup is on at the moment in the US, and there's been loads of controversies and all that kind of stuff. And this is not particularly about the World Cup in itself, but it's kind of in a way centered around it, just kind of what's happened with a lot of the Latin American countries, for example, like the game against France and Paraguay. But one of the things that I've come to a realization of is I think racism is a mental and spiritual laziness. I'm going to explain to you what that means in a minute. And what I mean by this is this. Let's get into it. See, immigration, for example, has been a phenomena since the beginning of time, even before we had paper, even before Egypt called it papyrus, because that's where paper came from or was invented, arguably. People have always moved around. And even if you look at sort of like the UK, the America, most countries in the world that have a decent enough GDP, you could argue that a lot of it falls on the premise that people move around with skills that are needed in different countries. Like for example, in the UK, you know, we've never really had enough nurses or doctors in the NHS. So a lot of people have come abroad, qualified people. And the problem is a lot of people get lumped into the same sort of box, or whether you're a legal immigrant or whether you're a legal immigrant. But when you have people calling places like LBC radio and saying they don't want to live next to a brown people, it's got to make you think. Just think, obviously it comes down purely to the color of your skin. And you have to think about it before. I mean, we could go on here about the complexities of worldwide immigration, how people move around to gain skills and learn new skills. Because a lot of people that also move around don't necessarily have the skills, but they have an innate desire to do some of the jobs that maybe some of the people in that particular country don't have. So say, for example, I'll use another example at the UK. Care workers, say, for example. Now, the UK has a lot of... it has an aging population. But unfortunately, a lot of natural, let's just call it for what it is, people that are, I guess they call themselves ethnically English, so they're like Anglo-Saxons. They have their family has a history of Anglo-Saxons and all that kind of stuff. You'd be hard pressed to find a lot of care workers from that particular demographic that would want to do care work. Now, the UK needs carers, the UK needs nurses, and unfortunately, not a large population of the English population want to do those roles. So you're going to get a lot of people from Africa, the Caribbean, most of